Hey there, Mountaineers! Welcome to my very first Q&A, sort of. Frequently asked questions is what this video is going to be. You guys can see my face. This is like the first face vlog? Can you call this a vlog? I wouldn't call this a vlog, but besides my podcast, this is probably like the first time you guys have seen my face officially in a video. So, hello to those of you who have not seen my face yet, but this is going to be a frequently asked questions video, and stay till the end for a short little update about my channel. First question is, why did you start your channel? I've answered this a couple times on stream on the podcasts, but I started my channel just to give me sort of like an outlet so I can focus all of my Disney energy into one spot without having to just post on Twitter or on forums and whatnot. I mean, I felt like I had a lot to bring to the table when it came to Disney YouTubers, DizTubers. It's kind of a weird word, but yeah. And I was inspired by a lot of other channels: Justin Scarred, Bright Sun Films, Offhand Disney, Rob Plays, of course, Defunctland, many others that I can't think of right off the top of my head, but I felt that there was something I could bring that would distinguish myself from all the other content creators out there. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job when it comes to doing that. Second question is, how long have you been on YouTube? I've been on YouTube, I want to say, since 2014. Whenever my sophomore year of high school was. I'm going to say it's 2014. I'm probably wrong, but 2014, I started out making Slender the 8 Pages videos. I don't know if any of you guys remember that video or that game. Gosh, looking back, it's a very terrible game, but I made videos like that for, I want to say, 2 weeks maybe. I uploaded them to my YouTube channel. They've since been deleted. They're long gone. Sadly, I wish I could see them. Then I moved on to Minecraft videos, as most people did. I played Minecraft. I was actually pretty good. Survival games, Minecraft survival games. I was pretty good in the later years of that. But I made Minecraft videos, uploaded them. Some of them are still up to this day. I'm sure if you ask around in the Discord or just on Twitter, people will give you the link. I'm not going to officially give the link in this video, but ask around on Discord. Someone will eventually come up with the link for you guys. Then I sort of moved to commentary videos. I don't even know how I would describe those videos. Very, I guess the word would be edgy. I was maybe 16 at the time when I made them. They didn't last very long. Those ones are privated because they're way not good, way inappropriate. But then, August of 2017, I started making Disney videos, which is the channel you're on right now. So you're all caught up on the history of my past YouTube endeavors. Question number 3 sort of ties in with question number 6, so I'll answer them both at the same time. Why the commercials, and why the 80s/90s theme in my Historyland videos, of course. I get this asked so many times, you guys don't even know. If you read the comments, you'll see how many times I get asked this question. Why do I put commercials into my Historyland videos? The main reason behind putting commercials in my videos is that Historyland is sort of a throwback to the vintage Disney Channel shows of the 80s and early 90s, and I want it to have that sort of feel. It's more authentic with the commercials, and the commercials help structure the video. Let's say I have 2 commercials per video, sometimes 3 if the video is long enough, but normally it's 2 commercials, and that breaks the video into 3 different parts. The first part would be the inception of the ride, the construction of the ride, that sort of stuff, cut to commercial, and then the second part of the video would be the aftermath of the ride, not necessarily the aftermath, but what the guests thought of the ride, how the ride worked, basically how the guests felt about the ride, leading into the second commercial, which leads into the third part of the video, which is the ride's demise, if the ride is closed, what the ride is doing today, if it was changed into something else. Yeah, basically that's it. I really wanted to channel that sort of vintage Disney feel. That's really what my whole channel is about, not necessarily what the whole channel is about. And as you guys probably have seen, I've made bumpers, as I like to call them, bumpers, funny word, that I put right before the commercial and right after the commercial. So the part where it says, coming up next, Historyland, Matterhorn Mondays, all that stuff. And after that, it's sort of like the logo, tagline, something like that, where it says the Matterhorn Mat with the logo. Basically, one of the main reasons is why I put the commercials in is that I love making motion graphics. I love recreating things that I see. Sometimes I feel like doing them better. So yeah, it gives me something to work on in between videos. I get to make, as you know, I custom make the bumpers, and I custom make my intro, and the preview, the part that comes before my intro, where I sort of recreated the vintage Disney VHS opening with Mickey Mouse having something, he's like not necessarily holding something, but it's like Mickey in a pose, and then it zooms in and then it says Walt Disney Home Video. I sort of recreated that for the beginning of my videos, and then it leads into the intro. So yeah, I love making that kind of stuff. It's what I'm majoring in college, motion graphics, graphic design, all that junk. And yeah, that's basically why I put commercials in my videos. Kind of a long answer, but I hope that answered all of your guys' questions out there. Question 4, any plan on getting rid of the commercials? I get this asked in the comments a lot as well. I do not plan on getting rid of the commercials, as some of you guys might want. The commercials are here to stay. Like I mentioned before, it adds to the authenticity of Historyland sort of being a vintage 80s TV show that aired on the Disney Channel. So yeah, commercials are not going anywhere, for those of you guys wondering. Question 5. Where do you find the commercials? Oh boy, it was easier finding commercials back when I first started making videos. I have searched through, I want to say tens, maybe even hundreds of pages of the YouTube search, searching for vintage Disneyland commercial, sometimes vintage Walt Disney World commercial. I try to have the commercials tie into the video somehow. I like to have, like with the previous video on Captain EO, I had the Captain EO commercial. Some have noticed that I used that commercial before. I want to say in my very first or second ever Historyland video, but yeah, I like to have the commercials have something to do with the video, with the topic of the video, and yeah, basically what I search is vintage Disney commercials, vintage Disneyland commercials. And yeah, I've scrolled through hundreds and hundreds of videos trying to find ones that I haven't used before, trying to find ones that sort of have low views, just because I like to sort of find the hidden gems in all the commercials, because a lot of them, I don't really like commercials from the 2000s. Commercials from the 80s and 90s are really what I look for, but I feel like in the 2000s, Disney really lost the magic that their old commercials had. But yeah, that is how I find commercials for my Historyline videos. Question 7. What software do you use to make your videos? I use Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, to edit my videos. I use After Effects to make all the motion graphics like I mentioned earlier. I use Photoshop and Illustrator to make any icons or logos, whatever I need to make. And let's see, I use OBS to stream. I use Audacity to record my audio. I think that's it. Premiere Pro, After Effects, Photoshop, Illustrator, OBS, and Audacity. But I mainly use, let's see, I mainly use After Effects. That's the program I'm most comfortable with, along with Premiere Pro. But yeah, that's what I use to make my videos. Number 8, how did I learn to edit my videos? Gosh, this goes way back. Like I mentioned before, I've been on YouTube for a long time. I don't really know if I'd say a long time. I've been on YouTube long enough to sort of find my way around all the editing softwares. Previously I used to use Sony Vegas Pro, but I switched to Adobe just because everything else I used was Adobe, so I figured why not switch to Premiere Pro. And I'd also taken a lot of media classes in my high school years. I was an editor and made graphics for the sports, what was it called? The sports show for the student news. I did that, and then of course I made short videos, short movies in those classes. So I picked up a lot of editing skills. And plus, okay, if any of you want to learn how to edit videos, how to make motion graphics, how to do all the stuff I do, watch a lot of YouTube tutorials. That is really where I gained a lot of my knowledge. Watching YouTube tutorials non-stop, recreating what they do, following their tips, that is what really helped me, along with the classes, of course. But YouTube tutorials are really the way to go if you want to learn this kind of stuff. Question 9. How old are you? I am 20 years old. I turned 20 last month on the 23rd. My birthday is April 23rd. Question 10. Where am I from? Gosh, New Mexico, believe it or not. A lot of people don't know that New Mexico is actually part of the United States, but I live in New Mexico. I feel like I've given away my city before, but I'm not going to say it here. You can go to my Twitter, find out all that stuff, but I currently reside in New Mexico. Number 11. Is it true that you're moving to California? I am making plans. I have a lot of plans in the work to move to California. Let's just put it at that. I'm not going to officially announce anything until everything is in place, so be on the lookout for that. Question 12. Are you going to be in the parks anytime soon? I will, actually. Thank you for asking. I will be in California July 16th through the 21st. Not sure on the dates we're going to be in Disneyland specifically just yet, but I will be making a whole separate video about that once all the details are in place. But mark your calendars. I always forget. July 16th through the 21st. Number 13. How did you and Alex meet? Alex and I met, well, I've been watching Alex for a long time before I started my channel. And once I decided that I wanted to have a podcast, I immediately turned to him because of how knowledgeable he was about the parks. So I sent him a message on YouTube. This story isn't as exciting as a lot of you are hoping it to be, but I messaged him on YouTube asking if he'd be interested in collaborating, making a couple videos together, and we eventually settled on the podcast. And Alex, well, I guess the rest is history. Alex and I have been doing the podcast almost every week. We've only taken 1 week off, I believe. We're on episode 36, I believe, was the most recent episode, so almost a year, wow. Alright, 36? Something like that. I'm not good with math, but yeah, that is how Alex and I met. Number 14, favorite Historyland videos so far. That is a tough one. Very tough one. It's hard to pick. My videos are sort of like my children. I can't pick a favorite, but I guess my top 3 would have to be Tomorrowland 1998, the Tiki Room, and the Jungle Cruise. Yeah, those are my top 3. Those were very awesome videos to make, especially the Tomorrowland 1998 one. That is one of the ones I'm most proud of overall. Same with the other 2 I picked, but I'm proud of all the videos I've made. Even the ones that don't get a lot of views, they're still my babies. I love them, and I would never part with them ever. Number 15, favorite Disney movie. Again, I can't pick a number 1 favorite, but my top 2 would have to be, well, I guess top 3. My top 3 Disney videos are Treasure Planet, Lilo and Stitch, and Tangled, in no particular order. They're all tied for number 1, so I talk about Treasure Planet a lot. I've talked about Lilo and Stitch a lot. I've talked about Tangled a lot on my channel, so I don't really have to go in depth as to why I like those videos, or why I like those movies, but those are my top 3 favorite Disney movies. Number 16, favorite Disney character and why. My favorite Disney character would have to be, I'm gonna say Moana. I love the movie. It's up there, top 5, top 10 maybe, favorite Disney movies. But Moana really because she follows her heart. She does what she wants to do. She I'm not that good at explaining this kind of stuff, but mostly because she follows her heart, follows her dreams, all that stuff. Also, it is in my top 10, maybe top 5 favorite Disney movies, so favorite character is Moana. Number 17, favorite Disney ride. Again, I cannot pick a number 1. My top 3 favorite Disney rides would be tied with the People Mover in the Magic Kingdom, the Carousel of Progress in the Magic Kingdom, and Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland. I could make a top 5 rides that would be tied for first place of my all-time favorite rides, but my top 3 would definitely have to be those ones I mentioned. People Mover, because it's so relaxing, and the view you get from the People Mover, I love looking down at all the people, I love looking at all the different attractions from a different point of view, and going inside Space Mountain is one of the coolest things in the entire world. Carousel of Progress, because it's a classic, I can never get the song out of my head. Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, even the one that predated that, it's slipping my mind. Now is the time, now is the best time of your life, that's what it's called. I can never get those 2 songs out of my head. And Pirates of the Caribbean, who wouldn't pick Pirates of the Caribbean? It's one of the greatest all-time attractions made by the Disney company. And I guess I'd have to throw in Indiana Jones Adventure in there as well. Another, man, that one might rank above some of the other ones I mentioned, but Indiana Jones Adventure, okay, this is top 4, not top 3. Indiana Jones Adventure, we've given this attraction praise on the podcasts and on all the other episodes we've done, is one of my top 5, top 3, top 4 favorite attractions of all time. The immersiveness is amazing, the attention to detail, and the ride is super fun. So yeah, those are my top 4 favorite attractions. Number 18, favorite Marvel character. My favorite Marvel character, hands down, is Spider-Man. Spider-Man is in my opinion, he's the greatest Marvel character out there. I was going to say one of my friends, but I don't really know him. One of my favorite YouTubers that I watch, Captain Christian, made a whole video about Spider-Man. I believe it wasn't uploaded to his channel, though. It might have been uploaded to IGN's channel. I'll link it in the cards above, wherever. Oh, right there. There it is. It'll be linked up there for those of you guys wondering. He made a really awesome video as to why Spider-Man's great, the history of Spider-Man as well, so be sure to check that out. Number 19, park I'd like to visit the most. That's tough. I really like to visit all the different parks. The only ones I've been to are Disneyland, California Adventure, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. Those are the only 6 parks I've been to. I'd like to go to all the rest, but I guess my top one, if I could visit any of the others, would be Disneyland Paris. I feel like Disneyland Paris doesn't get a lot of praise, but in my opinion, from what I've seen, I've not been there, but from what I've seen, it is one of the most beautiful parks to ever be constructed. Same with Tokyo Disney Sea. That would probably be tied for number 2 for parks I'd most like to visit. Those 2, Paris and Tokyo Disney Sea. Number 20, plans for the future of the channel. As I mentioned before, I am going to Disneyland in a couple months. Be expecting vlogs, ride-throughs. I'm planning on making walkthroughs of the lobbies of the 3 Disneyland hotels. Maybe just the Disneyland Hotel in Grand Californian, just because Paradise Pier Hotel is not that interesting, inside at least. But stuff like that, walkthroughs, 4K, high-definition walkthroughs. I finally figured out how to get the footage off of my phone to the computer. I bought a new computer, so that works out perfectly. So be expecting a lot of that. Vlogs, ride-throughs, walkthroughs. Gosh, update videos. I'm thinking, trying to find a way for this to work. I might do a live podcast from either one of the parks or from my hotel room. I'm not sure about that, but be looking out. Make sure you're following me on Twitter and on the Discord, all that stuff, so you guys can be the first to know of when all this stuff is going to be happening. And finally, number 21, how can I support you? How can you guys support me? You guys can support me by donating to me on Patreon. My Patreon is linked in the description, as it is in all the other videos. Patreon is amazing because it doesn't base anything off of YouTube, really. It's a whole separate platform, so it's not affected by the adpocalypse or any problems that YouTube is having with the ads, because, you know, YouTube is being, lately, the past, well, I was going to say the past couple weeks, but the past 5 months, YouTube has just been not so good when it comes to advertising, when it comes to trying to get ads. I can't tell you how many times my videos have been demonetized, which sucks. And that's why I feel like Patreon is another really great way of you guys being able to support me. You guys can also buy some of the merch I have. I've launched a bunch of new merch. I have stickers, I have new shirts, and a whole bunch of other stuff coming very soon, hopefully. So, yeah, Patreon, merch, all that will be linked in the description down below. And that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you all so much for joining me and the update about my channel. As I mentioned before, I bought a new computer. Well, I bought parts for a new computer, built it the other day, and gosh, this is going to sound really dumb. When I had it all put together, I had my old hard drive, the one that I have all my YouTube stuff on, the one I have all my photography stuff on. I plugged it in, accidentally used the old cables from my old computer instead of the new ones that they provided me. So I had all of it plugged in, and when I went to turn on the PC, now, this was the first time I've built a computer. In my defense, my previous computer was an Alienware X51 that I got many, many years ago. It's on the floor of my room right now in pieces because I had to take out the hard drives, the CD drives, all that stuff. But when I powered it on, sparks, smoke, the whole 9 yards. I honestly thought that I'd fried the graphics card or the motherboard or the processor. I thought all of it was toast. I thought I was going to have to spend more money to buy the new parts, the replacement parts at this point. But it's just the hard drive that's dead. I'm trying to find ways that I can fix it. I did find, because the hard drive has like a small chip in the back. I found replacements online. I'm hoping if I can swap those out, maybe it'll work, but I'm not all that optimistic about it. But like I said, not all hope is lost. Some of it was backed up. I did have to recreate the bumper, some of the intros, live streaming backgrounds and icons, all that stuff. Music, some of the music I used in my live streams, that's not a big deal. But yeah, not a total loss, but still, I guess a great lesson I learned to use the cables that came with the box and not use the old cables. I don't know what the heck I was thinking, but anyways, that is going to wrap up this video. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Historyland will be out next week. I promise you guys. Topic, Mission Breakout. That's the first teaser, I guess. Not really teaser. That's the first anyone has known about the topic for the video, but Mission Breakout is going to be the topic of the video. I've been meaning to do Tower of Terror for a very long time. I've had the folder on, well, not anymore. Folder was on my desktop on my old hard drive that I just mentioned burned. Not burned, that got fried, but Historyland will be back next week. Thank you all for your patience, and thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for liking and commenting. I read all the comments, by the way. I get notifications on my phone whenever I get comments. I read them all, and yeah, thank you to everybody. And it's gonna wrap it up, I think. Have a great big beautiful tomorrow.